Roger Hill, Weathering Heights on this Sunday afternoon. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities, Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. So you've seen the precipitation here. Let me get rid of the LSRs. We can see it a little bit better here, where temperatures are relatively cold down in the some parts of the country in the south, split in kind of two. You've got the warm weather, of course, in the Gulf of Mexico and so forth. The desert southwest, not exactly warm, but rather cold conditions across this particular area. You can see a kind of almost like a polar vortex kind of setup. This is a daughter vortex moving across Canada. Its main aspect is to cause a kind of a zonal flow, but this is a weak weather system. You can see this very weak trough at 500 hectopascals. It's going to be taking a track and spin up an area of lower pressure and take that track along the coastline and give these areas here a pretty good snowfall tonight, Sunday night, and into the day on Monday. Lighter amounts further north you go. So this Sunday night into Monday morning, we have a benign weather system to work on through, producing light to almost moderate snowfall. That'll be exiting on Monday. This will leave slightly unsettled conditions in its wake, with some periodic light flurry or snow shower activity, mostly off the Great Lakes. Nothing major here. And this will last probably into Tuesday town meeting day, with a little enhanced disturbance working across, bringing us a little bit of light snow in some spots. And also it'll probably continue into the day on Wednesday with yet another one. Now parts of Tuesday and Wednesday will have dry weather, but the full daylight hours for good project weather is really not going to take place until we get into Thursday and Friday. That's going to be after another cool down, a chill down, with anomalous cold weather across Canada through this period. This will suppress the polar branch of the jet stream and keep that jet stream well to the south. That's basically the storm track as well. So expecting benign conditions for utilities through this entire period. Mixed precipitation may return for next Sunday with lowered confidence, but this far out, not really sure how all that's going to be in play, as computer modeling typically this time of year is a little bit less skillful. So looking at the incremental European model here, what we're looking at here is this system that you can see moving into the northeast United States, and it's a weather system that's been tracking further and further south. You can see it mostly goes by with the majority of the precipitation. We get kind of sideswiped, kind of northern fringes. Once it moves on out, though, the Great Lakes become a little bit more active. You can see some lake effect plumes immediately to the east of the source region of the lakes, and some of that makes it into Vermont. It's a little bit of a harder forecast. Doesn't really show up very well. This makes it in here as the weak disturbance, kind of enhancing that. That would be Tuesday evening, and we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. Again, a few snow showers and flurries across Vermont, but not exceptionally dry. But there will be periods of dry weather kind of mixed in. Now, by the time we get into Wednesday, things begin to push away and dry out. A weak area of higher pressure builds in. Nothing real strong, but at the same time, we're looking at better project weather as we get into Thursday and then on Friday as well. So some flurries may encroach on the far northeast kingdom on as we get into Friday, and then they move out very quickly. And then high pressure builds back in for what looks like a nice Saturday. And there's another weather system we'll have to watch here. This is one that's gathering off to the west. And eventually this may cause some issues for along about Sunday night into Monday of the following week. And we're on about a 7-day cycle if you haven't noticed. GFS ensemble looks like kind of a busy weather pattern, but relatively benign. We're not looking at anything major here. You can see probably the biggest system is going to be what's going to be developing tonight, and then falling into Monday, and then that moves on out. We have another little weak system on town meeting day and so forth, and just a lot of almost noise in the system here. Now these things are incredibly small, so the total QPF shown here, less than a half an inch, and that goes out for 1 week. Quick check on any kind of gradient wind issues. You notice this is 850 hectopascal, and this is below 35 knots, so no wind. Looking at temperature now, what we can see is the coldest weather to occur on the 6th and 7th, and then a slight warm-up. and kind of coming from that particular area. The diurnal ranges in temperature will be shown very well with the 2-meter temperature, ups and downs and whatnot. This is our day today, and then tonight, tomorrow, and so forth. Precipitable water continues to be extremely low, so no real big juicy storms. The one going to the south of us is taking most of that moisture and keeping it in parts of southern New England for Sunday night into Monday morning. And of course it's all snow. And one interesting thing of note, this is the 7-day total QPF from the Weather Prediction Center, and you can see a couple different storm tracks. This is the one that goes to the south and east, mostly affecting New England. Note, very limited amounts of precipitation. Here's the 1/4 inch line. This is a total of 7 days. The west is getting their share, which is real good news for them, including in the desert areas, the interior west, the Rockies. Northern Rockies are getting skipped out just a little bit as that suppression of that jet stream with the cold air locked in across Canada. But needless to say, California is getting makeup rains, and it's good for them, but too much at once. 5-day temperature anomalies. You can see that it's below normal pretty much coast to coast, except for the northwest corner there of Mexico into the desert southwest. And we're running here in Vermont somewhere around 12 degrees below normal for temperature anomalies for the maximums. This is 3 days later. You can see that still pretty cold. Climate situation here. Let me just move these things around. You can see that the anomalous cold in the entire northern hemisphere is right in the western parts of Canada, right into the central plains. Occasionally this is going to move in here, and that's what's kind of this feed out of the west-northwest. But note the Arctic. The Arctic is on fire, 5.1 degrees Celsius above normal. That's Celsius. That is amazing. Even the Antarctic. Typically when the Arctic's on fire or very, very anomalous warm, you have the Antarctic going the other way, and this is not the case. It too is also warm. So world as a whole right now about 0.8 of a degree above normal, with the tropics kind of holding things back, and if anything, North America. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.